Well, let's begin with the daily graphic. We're going to give you the news items for the day. Addressing food insecurity. Agric needs new model. This is coming from Prof. Nzamujo. And commit more resources to mental health delivery. Dr. Ajamanta, government, I back that 120%. President should state position on LGBTQ+. This is coming from a Catholic bishop, the Most Reverend Joseph Osei Bonsu. And, you know, in certain religious settings, the president has stated clearly, you know, that he is for the bill to be passed, you know. Then in some situations, he seems to be a lot more diplomatic and less committed, you know, to stating his position.
Well, I think that, you know, when it comes to the president, we have to understand that he is of many parts. He's a Christian, he's a Ghanaian, he belongs to the international community. He has a lot of roles, you know. So sometimes in even stating what you don't want, of course you need to be diplomatic about it because you are dealing with a lot of people. And this time around, he's also an individual, you know, but you cannot just bring what you think and what you believe in to affect everybody. So I think sometimes we may also want to look at the man who wears many caps, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a tough place to be.
Exactly.
You know, you're not for one person or one side or one group or whatever, you know. So anyway, NLA targets revenue from Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire as well. Those are the headlines, front page of the Daily Graphic.
Now moving on to the Ghanaian Times, FWSC, that is the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, starts nationwide payroll cleanup to get rid of ghost names, irregularities, and deserving allowances, among others. Now, 5 political parties push for amendment of 1992 Constitution. President must be emphatic on his LGBTQ plus stance. This is coming to us. You know, it was on the front page of the Daily Graphic, and this is still Most Reverend Joseph Osei Bonsu speaking. Police arrest man for allegedly assaulting ECG workers.
You're going to assault people. Is it the ECG workers you're going to assault?
You've done illegal disconnection.
You don't understand what you're doing there.
You make your matter worse.
You have not seen the wind that is blowing. You're going to assault ECG workers.
You want to be used as an example.
He'll be an example, a proper one. The Chronicle has these headlines. Yoni Kulendi to be next CJ. Gertrude Tokonu also in the race. Apollonia chief warns public against purchase of land from unauthorized persons. Family shuns Asunaba Dapa's funeral in protest. Baumia shown love by Methodist Church. And NLA to be 92 million Ghana cedi richer by richer this year. Samir Uku says Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire to pay royalties after 25 years. Now the scripture on the front page of the Chronicle, it says here, Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 18, you shall appoint yourself judges and officers in all your towns, which the Lord your God is giving you, according to your tribes, and they shall judge the people with righteous judgment. Hey, she said, Chronicle every day has a scripture for somebody.
Oh, yeah. Who the cap fits.
Yeah.
Right, now we move on to the Finder. NLA bags 290 million cedis in 2022. This according to the boss of NLA, Sami Ewuku. Now, is it, you know, on the front page of
the
Chronicle?
Yeah.
Did it say 92 million?
No, you said there will be 92
million richer. Okay.
Because of the monies that are coming
from. So maybe when they take everything out, because here it says it backs to 90 million cedis in 2022. Now, mining disaster looms at Braha Bebome as Chinese Galamsey contractor leads Braha Bebome youth into sealed off and disused mine shaft. Nationwide payroll monitoring begins, whistleblowers to be rewarded. ECG staff vendors busted over alleged 2.1 million cedis theft granted bail. Now, over 95% of Ghana cocoa safe from EU ban. This is according to Dr. Meriton.
You know, I was just looking at the name Braha Bebome.
Come here and beat me.
Why would you name a town come here and beat me?
Well, you don't also know what the story has been.
Yeah, I'm curious.
You know, if it was today, we
But how
probably,
about
if it was today, you know, it probably would have been some Galamsey people who know that they are well secured, and so nobody can come this area. Do a Bema,
Oh, yeah,
Braham. So maybe there probably is a story like that in the past, you know, when someone was throwing a shade or something. Anyway.
Right. Okay, so the New Crusading Guide has these headlines here. It says, Guto fights government over newly passed revenue bills. Doma East MP to moderate discussions on green economy at Harvard University's Africa Development Conference. We also have dedicated service. Your dedicated service will always be remembered. Judicial Service is speaking to COP Kofi Boache. And NLA poised to increase revenue as it renegotiates deal with KGL, among others. Right, so those are the headlines on the front page of the New Crusading Guide.
And now the anchor. Wanted thug blows Axim police cover, says he leads officers to extort money from illegal miners. Invisible forces Kojo Bamba's name pops up. Mouthwash cannot replace tooth brushing. This is according to a dentist. NLA outlines measures to rake in revenue. Notorious robber gunned down in Takwa, and school feeding caterers withdraw service.
Yeah. Well, the Daybreak has these headlines. E-levy, where the jobs day? It's a question that's being asked by the Daybreak. Surgical suture shortage hits Tema General Hospital. Who are we, Accra, as a people?
So now that we got more of the vaccines.
Now, sutures are also short.
Well, be very careful when you are driving, when you are walking. Just make sure that you don't get hurt, because this is what is happening now. You are on your own.
I was speeding towards Parliament. Nantong MP speaks about the accident. And Buduburam eviction attack on Gomoa East District. This is it's a DCE speaking. All right, so that's it for the papers that I have today.
Right, now my final paper, The Economy Times. Ghana records $752 million US trade surplus. Banks resort to target lending. This according to Fitch, and BOG cuts dollar supply to BDCs for quarter 2, 2023.
That's it?
Yes.
Super. Well, it's time for sports. Don't go anywhere. Sports is up shortly. All right, well, it's time for sports, and we have the Ghana Premier League, the Bet Power Ghana Premier League stories here. We also have the Under-23 AFCON, and then we have some Premier League on Citi stories as well. Well, the Ghana Football Association on Tuesday ordered a temporary ban on the Ghana Stars from using their home ground, the Nana Ajimambedu the First Park. Now, the FA's decision was based on violent scenes from the weekend that saw the team bus of Tamale FC being destroyed and some players getting injured. The GFA said that the ban was in line with its regulations, and I do hope that they are actually not just banning them, but there will be some arrests and there will be some prosecutions as well. It cannot happen in our football discourse that people can go home and sleep easy and get away scot-free, throwing stones, damaging a bus, and hurting players. It cannot be acceptable. We must not condone this. I do hope some people get arrested. I do hope some people get prosecuted. And I do hope some people find themselves languishing in jail for this misbehavior. Well, we continue with the Under-23 AFCON. And Black Meteor's assistant coach, Godwin Atram, says facing Algeria in the qualifiers has prepared the team for what they will potentially face in the tournament. Now, Ghana is part of 8 countries that have made it to the Under-23 AFCON in Morocco, and they will compete for 3 slots to represent the continent in the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Atram says the team will be ready for all the challenges that lie ahead in the tournament. And then we go over to Premier League on Citi. Everton and Tottenham Hotspurs played a 1-1 draw at Goodison Park on Monday in the Premier League. Now, the match was the first for Spurs after the exit of Antonio Conte, and it ended producing 2 goals and a red card for Abdoulaye Doucouré of Everton and Lucas Moyes of Tottenham. Now, Spurs took their lead through a Harry Kane penalty in the 68th minute, but Everton leveled in the 90th minute through Michael Keane. The result means Tottenham are 4th on the table with 50 points, but they have played 2 games more than United, who are 5th. And that's where we bring the sports stories to an end, right? Breakfast Daily will take a quick break. Frema, do you have any thoughts on any of these stories?
No.
Not yet? It's not. None of them are interesting to you.
No, I mean, they're okay, you know, but I didn't see my City in there. But I think that the Adriana story is very key, and I agree with you that, look, it needs to go beyond that. The FA has taken
what it will
exactly what it will do.
The Ghana police
absolutely
needs to get involved, and people
yeah.
need to be sanctioned.
I think it's kind of, violence must be really stopped. What's that?
Yeah.
If you decide to do it, you have to face the consequences. Exactly.
Yeah.